But to start off, I just wanted to get into Canvas. So what I see on my screen should be what you guys see. Is that correct? I'm in student mode right now. Sorry. What you guys see on Samantha or Kristen's screen. Kristen, you're almost there. Will you click on 1250 for me?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was awkward. But really, we're just looking at our homepage, so it should say Interior Design 1250. It has a link to our syllabus, and then the course summary, like all that stuff, right? Where I wanted to start was, it should be on the top of your list, 00 Adobe Creative Suite download. Go ahead and click on that for me. And really, I can't say how excited I am. I even have in bold, cue Heavenly Music. The school is providing a free license to students starting this semester. This has been so big for us. Go ahead and click on the link, the SLCC service now. Click on that for me. So in this lab, when you guys work here on school, at school, you guys don't need to do this. But at home, on a personal computer or a laptop, it doesn't matter if it's a Mac or a PC, you'll need to download the Creative Cloud so that you guys can do your homework. So before you guys come to class next week, this is your first assignment, getting Creative Cloud downloaded. Now here, do you guys see all of these programs? When you download, yes, you're going to get it. Like, we get it for free. You just said, what if you don't have Creative Cloud?
You already have Creative Cloud.
Then you can ignore me.
Okay.
You don't need it. That was an easy question. No, you just gotta ignore me. I was like, wait a second. Did I hear her right? Yeah, so if you already have it, we're just gonna use Photoshop. Eventually, we'll get into InDesign, but for now, it's just Photoshop. So there's a whole list of stuff across the top that we need. Do you guys see down 4 from the right? It says PS in a cyan box. That's the Photoshop icon. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. But from your home personal computer, follow this, step by step. So the first one is download the Creative Cloud Desktop Application Manager. You don't need to do that here because we already have it here. So do you see that it says, how do I get it? In blue, and then number 1, download the Creative Cloud Desktop Application Manager. Everybody see that? No?
I'm circling it for you.
Oh, thank you. I was like, what? Okay, that's what you guys need at home, okay? Now, it says select sign in, but don't sign in yet. Select want to use your company or school account, sign in with an enterprise ID. That will be the big thing, because what Adobe now knows, once you download the Desktop Manager, when you put in your SLCC credentials, so Pamela, it'll be really important to make sure we have those credentials, your My Page credentials are now tied into your Adobe credentials. So it will see, okay, this person's a current SLCC student, they can download the software for free. And again, this is huge for us. It has been such a pain the entire time I've taught here, like the entire 12 years, it's been crazy. And then go through these next steps. If you guys are on the web page, go ahead and scroll down. The thing that's great about this is they've included screenshots. So what you see at home will be really similar to the screenshots that they have provided for you here. If you guys don't mind, scroll down to the very bottom, and there's a screenshot, and in the black box it says Updating Creative Cloud 0%. Do you guys see that little, and it has all the boxes there? So the only thing that you need for this class is InDesign CC, and you don't even need that yet, but to start we need Photoshop, and it's cut off from this list. But remember at the very top I said there's one that's in cyan, it's the PS, the Photoshop. That's what we need to start. So before class next week, I need everybody to install Creative Cloud, and then once you get Creative Cloud, are you done?
No.
Do you need to install all the programs?
No.
Which one do you need to start?
Yes.
Yep, and then if you want to do one more just to get it done, what would the other one be? InDesign, good. So that's what we need. We need Creative Cloud first, and then that gets us Photoshop and InDesign. We're going to start in Photoshop, so that's the most important one. So that'll be your job for this week. Now, how will I know that you guys have downloaded Photoshop? Yay! few of you guys have already done this. I was surprised to see that some people already turned in this assignment. So go back, go ahead and click on assignments on the left side for me. Click there, and you guys should see a list that says upcoming assignments. And the third one down should be assignment upload practice. Do you guys see that one there? Third one down? Okay, so upcoming assignments 00 assignment upload practice. Click on that for me. And do I have the screenshot on? I didn't do that. Why didn't I do the screenshot here? I think that was in my Revit class. Sorry, let me go back. Maybe I built it into the Revit download. Okay, I owe you guys a couple links here. Let me edit this real quick. I made a YouTube tutorial that shows you guys, 1, how to take a screenshot, and then 2, how to do a screenshot, and then 2, how to upload it. Let me see if I have that assignment in here. Sorry, nope, I'm in the wrong class. Let's get out of there. Ooh. I'm gonna pause and this will work out well, I think. So Pamela, I'm sorry you can't be hands-on with us yet, but we'll try to get you set up here before you go. So throughout this semester, I am going to ask you guys to submit lots of images. Just about every Tuesday, I'm going to ask you guys for specific things. I might say the PSD, and that might not mean anything yet, or the JPEG, or the InDesign file. So to start off here, I've said, you know, a JPEG and then a few other things. Now, what we're going to do just for today is we are going to practice doing a screenshot in this assignment, and this will be kind of an extra credit exercise, right? That's how it is in the other class too, but this one you have to do a few other things as well, just to make sure that it's working. Again, I know, like for example, Pamela, this is her first class, so she may have never worked in Canvas before. For other students, you may have had Canvas but used it in a different capacity. So I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. So to start off, I want to teach you guys how to do a screenshot. So what you'll notice is that right now it's not on this assignment, but I'm going to add it to our YouTube playlist so that, and I'll show you guys where that is, but we'll have a playlist with all of these videos. So if you forget, we'll come check. Let me make sure it works here. Yes, it does. So on your computer where you are right now, hold 3 buttons at the same time for me. Hit your Windows button. It looks like a square cut up into squares. So Windows, Shift, and S. And you should notice that your screen dims, and now your cursor is a crosshair. Do you guys see that it's like a plus sign now? Essentially what you need to do now, you can't look at my screen, this is so hard, but you drag, and as you're dragging, you're holding onto your mouse, and your screen is highlighting. So take a look at Samantha, and then take a peek at Kristen too, and I hear it happening. It's taking a screenshot, and it pops up in the lower right corner. So click on the thing that pops up in the lower right corner. If that didn't work, do it again. So hit Windows, Shift, and S, and then click and drag, and as soon as you let go, you should have a screenshot. Now, to ensure that we're doing this right, that you're not just kind of randomly clicking, I want you guys to draw a square around essentially where it says 0, 0, and then down to the bottom of the rubric where it says 8 points. So Samantha and Kristen, if you guys don't mind showing an example of that. So up at the corner of the 0, 0, is yours mad too? What have we done? Okay. So that's the screenshot that I'm looking for. And then once you get it, go ahead and click on it in that bottom right-hand corner. Before I go to the next step, does everybody have the Snip and Sketch file open on their machine now? Yeah, you guys have the Snip and Sketch? Good. Once you have that, over on the right side, you guys don't even know what this is, but it looks like a little disc from 20, 30 years ago. It's the save icon. Okay, so go ahead and click on that disc. It's
Floppy disk?
the floppy disk. Fourth icon from the right. Okay, and save that somewhere where you'll find it. I'm jumping ahead just a little bit, so bear with me. Will you guys click, when you guys pulled up save, on the right side, do you see where it says like quick access, OneDrive, this PC, and network? Click on this PC for me. And you might even have to make it a little bit bigger. So Samantha, would you mind going to the bottom right and expanding yours? Yep, perfect. So when you guys expanded it, sorry microphone, I'm stepping away. Do you guys see a drive that has your name, not your name, but your username that you signed in? Was that your username? Oh, okay, so don't use that one. But see if you see your My Page username. So for example, mine is N Nawabi. Samantha, what would yours be?
S. Pitkin.
Yep, S Pitkin. Do you guys see that drive? Okay, so Kristen doesn't. Who else doesn't see it? It's normal if you don't see it. So that
Save it on this?
yep, that's it. That's the one. So, what that drive is, and I said that I'm jumping ahead, but it's good to know now. If you don't see that drive, and I'm going to write his email up here. We're going to kind of bombard him. What you guys need to do is email Jameson to get you on the network. And what I can even do, we're going to end a little bit early. I can even run across the hall to see if he's here. But the thing that's great about that drive that I just showed you, so again, it lives on this PC, and it's down at the bottom under network locations. Is everybody with me so far? I'm throwing a lot at you on the first day. The thing that's great about the network drive is, let's say for example, Samantha, if you sit here today and save stuff on your desktop, when we come back next week, let's say that Fabi decides to sit there, right? All of your files are on that computer. You can't get them anymore. So that's sad. But do you know what's even more devastating? At random times in the semester, they wipe these computers because they get lots of files on them, they get too big, and they don't ask us, do you need any files on here? They just wipe them. They don't even ask me. So if you're going to use the computers to save, use a network location so that you know it's there the next time you come back. With the network location, it means that any computer you sit on in this lab or the two computer labs across the hall from us, we've got 305 and 303. We have an open computer lab policy in the architecture and interior design program. So you can go in any lab, even if there's a class going on, and as long as there's an open computer, you can sit there and work. And if you've saved onto the network, you will be able to see your work there. So let me ask you guys, should you save your work onto the desktop?
No.
Why not? Yeah, it could, yes. You might not get it away, it could get wiped, yeah. So save it onto the network. And then I don't use OneDrive, but OneDrive is something that you can use if you have a Windows machine, and it's essentially cloud storage, okay? We will talk about Google Drive next class, or we'll even talk about USBs. But the big thing is if we work on something here, how are we going to get it home? Not even your network can help with that, but just know that by next week, I want you guys to start thinking about a plan of making your work mobile. And I don't want to require something, like I'm really particular about how and where I save my files. So I'm going to show you guys how I do it, give you guys a few options on how you can do it, and then you can decide what works best for you or just let me know the system that you're already using. Okay, so I'll be really open about that. I was just curious since we're kind of here right now. But since I hit save, why don't you guys practice if you have your drive, save it there. So let me show you kind of my naming. I don't have a box because I'm so important, or I don't have a network drive. So I'm going to save mine onto my desktop. And wherever you are, whether you're in the network drive or your desktop, if you right click in your Finder, like right under where the word name is, you can right click and go down to where it says new, or you can click on the big icon that says new folder. And essentially I want you guys to create a folder for this class. So up at the top of the Save As menu, along the left side, this is so hard to like dictate everything. Do you guys see what it says Organize and then right next to it New Folder? Okay, so click on New Folder. And why don't you call it 1250 DG for Digital Graphics and then Spring of 20. That'll help you know the class and when you took it, because a year from now you'll be like, did I take that class? When did I take it? Who did I take it from? It just all becomes a blur. Okay. Everybody with me so far?
Nope.
Which part? Just the creating a new folder or finding your network drive?
I found the network drive.
Okay. So where I probably lost you, I came back to the image that we did a screenshot of and I hit save. Thanks for helping.
What did you name the folder?
1250 DG S20. So 1250 is the class number, digital graphics, and then Spring of 20. That's my weird code. You can call it whatever you want. Is it Shalene? Am I saying it right? No, it's Sha something. Will you guys tell me her name?
On our drive, yes.
Sorry, what was it? Sharissa. Thank you. I forgot already. Say that one more time.
We do it on our drive.
Yes, if you have access to your drive, let's do it on your drive just for practice. I have to do it on my desktop. Now, is there anybody else that needs help finding their drive or their folder? Yes.
Well, I found the drive, but so.
Yep, and
This
then
is it
from
right
here,
here?
go ahead and just hit cancel. I just wanted you to find it. And now go ahead and hit save from there. So see the little save icon? Now from there, try to find your drive. So click on this PC again. Perfect. And that's it.
Okay, what's the box name?
And then double click on it. Oh, I'm so sorry. So double click, and then do you see where it says new folder? You're fine. Look up at the top on the left side. It's really hard doing it blind. So now go ahead and name that like 1250 digital graphics, whatever you want to name this class. And then go ahead and get rid of the name new folder. Yep, go all the way back to the beginning. Good.
Okay,
Sorry, we're doing this blind today, guys. Does anybody else need help? I can come around. But really, the last thing that I want you guys to do, this is how crazy I get. I actually put stuff in folders after that. So like this class, I would probably make a folder and call it 00 because it's the intro class, or I'd call it 01 for the first week. I have to look at how I've named ours. I think it would be 00 because everything so far I've named 00 if you look at our roles. So I would even make another new folder and call it 00. And then in that folder, I would just say screen cap test. Is it Lorraine? No, Lorena, sorry. It's coming. I just had a class before this, so I'm going to call this screen cap. Do you need help with something?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I just thought it was funny because you brought up being organized.
You know, if you already have an organizing system, use that system, whatever it is. But whenever like a student hands me a USB to try to find files, it's like everything, and then like final 1, 2, 3, absolute final, this final, and I'm just like, how do you keep this all organized? So some folders help. You don't have to do it as much as I do, but at least separating it by classes is great. By class, I mean like digital graphics. You don't have to do it by day or week, but I think that should help. So let me ask one more question. Does anybody need help saving their screenshot before we practice and submit? No? So for submit, there should be a big blue button in the upper right side. So now I'm back on the assignment in Canvas. So the 00 assignment upload practice. So click on submit assignment. And again, I hate that I'm doing this blind, but Kristen and Samantha, thank you for following along with me. You should see file upload. There should be a button that says choose file. So click on that and then go find wherever you saved this. Desktop, this PC, wherever that might be, go find that folder. And one thing that I just want you guys to notice, in assignments where I have you turn in more than one file, do you guys see that right underneath choose file, there's an option to, it's a plus and it says add another file? you can keep adding files to this because some assignments you're turning up to 4 or 5 files. It's like the one PSD file and then the 4 versions that we work on. So you can keep adding files. And then when you're done, click on Submit Assignment. Okay. And then once it's submitted, that button that used to say Submit says Resubmit. And look even more to the right, and you should see it says Submission. You'll get a check mark that says Submitted, and then the details. If you submitted the wrong thing or you kept working on it and you feel like you want to turn in the latest one, click on Resubmit Assignment. I will always get the latest one, and that's the one I'll grade, but Canvas lets me know that there are other things that you sent too. So if you turned in 3 and you forgot the 4th, I will look at the 3 and then go through your other files just to make sure the 4th one isn't hidden in there. Okay, now let me leave my student view, and I'm going to let you guys know if it worked. Let me hit refresh. The thing that's great about Canvas, or the worst, I don't know, it gives me a notification every time somebody turns something in, and it just kind of every day it's like, hey, you have this many submissions, this many submissions. I don't have any yet. Have you guys submitted yet?
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, let me go to SpeedGrader. Maybe it's just taking a minute. Okay, no, I've got a 10. So Kristen, Kenzie, Valerie, Lorena, Sharissa, Fabi, Olivia, Bailey, Sid, Taylor, Samantha, Katie, and test student. That's me. So I got all of those. If I didn't say your name, just submit it again. Maybe it'll come through. But I get those notifications all the time. And I usually like to have things turned back to you guys about every 2 weeks, because typically the way my classes are set up is you guys have a week to turn it in on time, and then I typically leave it open for a week after where you can turn it in late for a deduction. And throughout this semester, as long as you only do that once or twice, it's not an issue. But if you take advantage of it and you're constantly turning in late, then we'll have a conversation. But I have so many students, and I know that life happens, so if you don't get it in the next, that week, turn it in the following week, okay? And just a secret between us, don't tell your friends. Typically, the first time that you turn something in late, I don't even do the deduction, so just between us. But then after that, it does. Canvas is this thing where it automatically starts deducting, so as an incentive, just turn it in on time. All right, that was a lot on the first day. Usually it's just like, here's the syllabus, goodbye. I do have the syllabus posted. Please look at that. I also, there's a link to the institutional syllabus that you guys can take a look at. But essentially the way the class is set up is that every day, first thing, I want you guys to hop in. So for example, next week, there's 01 exploring image file formats. And I don't know if that's even open. Oh, it is open for you guys. So this is actually for next week. My semester start dates got a little bit jumbled, but you can see these files starting now, although it's supposed to be for next week. But every exercise, I just want you guys to have these downloaded on your screen and ready to go. So within like the first 5-10 minutes of class, we're ready to go. Because I get that I have a class right before this, so we probably won't be sitting until exactly noon. And then I give you guys about 5 minutes to download and open, so at 12:05, I like to just be ready to go. So please be here on time so that you guys can get logged in and download. It usually takes at least 5 minutes to do that. We'll do an exercise together in class. And then you typically have homework, and your homework exercise is almost exactly like what we did in class. So you'll just have a little bit more practice. So for next week, the only thing that I need you guys to do is please make sure that you get Creative Cloud downloaded. And then once you get that downloaded, we're going to jump right in and start talking about Photoshop and what it does, different file formats, and we'll have our first exercise next week. Any questions about what we've talked about so far? It's a big first day, I think, compared to other first days.
So
Yeah.
there are some that are due Monday and some that are due Tuesday.
I'll fix that.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened with my class import, but typically like I taught this class last spring, and when I import it, it just aligns the days. But for some reason, this class is all over the place.
Okay.
So essentially, just know this. The only thing that's due next week, really, is your assignment upload practice and the downloading Creative Cloud. So anything with the 00 in it is what's due. If a 01 or a 02 pops up, you can ignore that, and I'll get everything cleaned up before Tuesday. I'll spend some lab time. I'll even maybe unpublish some of the assignments. So I'll get like the first few weeks done, and then I'll just start posting them as they come. This is the only class that did that, but
Weird.
yeah. Okay, so with that, do you guys have to worry about anything starting in a 01? Like this one that's open that says it's due next week? No. So anything with the 00 is due. But other than that, you guys, congratulations. You guys are in the class. Your seat is secure. If you're on the fence about this class, like if it was, sometimes you sign up just to make sure you have a full schedule and you think you're going to drop, let me know so I don't have to drop the other people, but I hope all of you guys choose to stay. And before you guys go, again, say hello to someone that you may not have known an hour ago. That's really important to me. And for next week, just make sure you have it downloaded. One other question, I'm sorry. Does anybody have an iPad with a pencil or a Surface Pro with a pencil? Yes? Okay.
Like a stylus on my phone. Is that what you're doing?
That might be too small. We need a little bit bigger, like maybe this size screen. It might work though. So Photoshop full version comes on iPad, and it has been out for only like a month. It came out over the break. I haven't even downloaded it yet, but all of this stuff is free, so download it and play with it if you want to. Quick example, let's say that you find a catalog picture that has the perfect sofa, but there's all this stuff in the background, right? Like living room furniture, people, whatever. We're going to use our mouse to essentially trace around that sofa and isolate it. That's going to be called masking. The mouse is great, but if we have, you know, a pencil on a tablet, it's just so much cleaner. We applied for a grant this semester to try and get tablets for the classroom, so please pray, cross your fingers, whatever you do, that we get that grant, so in the future I can just be like, come grab a tablet if you want to work on one. So that's coming, but if you have one, you're more than welcome to bring it to class and work on it, and we'll figure it out together. Okay, I'm gonna Creative Suite download. So when you're on YouTube and you're watching our lectures, before we get too far, I kind of wanted to warn,
what you can do,
just let you guys know that I actually record a pause button. So you can pause the lecture, and you can even kind of slide along and move it to a particular point. So you don't have to watch the entire lecture, but you can kind of move to a specific point. And again, if right now you can't see my screen, but you can watch the recording later and see it. One other thing that you can do while we're in here is I try to talk slow. That's not always the case, but do you see over on the right side at the bottom of your screen, come 4 icons over, it looks like a gear, like a bicycle gear. Click on that, and you should see an option for playback speed. So I have found that the way I talk, you can still listen to it at 1.5 the speed that way. And let me turn up my volume to see.
And now I want you guys to see what it looks like on my end. So I'm going to leave the student view. When I log in, I always have a to-do list. So it looks like 2 of you guys have already turned something in addition to
I
me.
think you can
So
still
when
follow
that 3
along.
means that there's
So,
3 things to
I
grade.
mean, if you
Let me
have
come down.
to slow it down, slow it down. Slow it down, speed it up, whatever you want to do. But that's the reason why I like posting on YouTube rather than right in Canvas is, one, you can speed it up, slow it down, skip, and it will always be here for you. So let's say that, you know, you take the entire summer off, you come back in fall and you're like, oh, what was that one thing I learned in Photoshop? It's there for you. 2 years from now, it's still there for you. Photoshop may have changed a little bit, but this will still be here for you to reference. Okay? All right, I think that covers everything I wanted to do today. I'm going to hang out a minute. I'm going to see if Jameson's here. So Pamela, I'm going to see if I can get you on. Bailey, Valerie, who else didn't have? You didn't either? Okay. Actually, I have to do one other thing.